coffee beans! Welcome back for another video. Today is a craft kit, but not just any craft kit. It is one that has been sitting under my desk for months that I have been so excited to work on but haven't had the time to do. I'm so excited. I love llamas. So I'm so excited. This is a Klutz Sew Your Own Furry Llama Pillow. Look at this face. Look at this face. It's so cute. She's so fluffy. I can't. She's so fluffy. Months ago, back when I first started this channel in like November of 2019, so last year, I went on a shopping spree and bought a bunch of really cheap crafting kits, which you guys have seen periodically on this channel. Like the Uzos was one of those, the Squishos was one of them, the Squishy Chums was another one, and a couple more that I can't remember right now. But those were all super cheap. Those were all like $5, $3. This one was the most expensive one. It was $20, and I got it at Michael's. But I couldn't resist, especially because it makes a cute little pillow. And I see here that it kind of gives us some different examples of things we can make. Like, look at this little top hat. I mean, stop. Who can resist this kit, right? Here is the back of the box. It shows everything that's included, which I really like that it's not just a list, it's actually pictures. So that kind of gives you a really good idea as the person purchasing it, whether it's for yourself, like me, or it's for a little kid in your life. This is a really good indicator of where your money is going, why it's so expensive. But it also has it written down on the side exactly what it is you're getting. And if I remember correctly, Klutz is really good about actually giving you everything you need. I think maybe the only thing we'll need is scissors. But for the most part, everything you need is in here, which I really, really appreciate. So before I open... Oh my god, so cute. Okay, let me cut this book off. What I like is that this book is a separate piece. So I can save this book and all the projects that are included in it. And then down the road, if I ever find faux furry fabric, say that 10 times fast. Faux furry fabric, faux furry fabric, faux furry fabric. Oh, it's not that hard, actually. Made me out of breath. Oh my god, a mermaid! Stop! I'm getting distracted. An angel! Okay, I can't. It's so cute. Before we open the box, let's see this book. Oh my gosh. Hey, what's the stitch? What? So, it looks like it's no problema to stay safe. Stop. So this is kind of giving you some tips. And I like this. This even shows you how to use the floss, how to thread your needle. This is seemingly good for beginners. Now, I'm good at textile type crafts and sewing and everything, so this is easy for me. And I'm curious to know, for those of you who are not really that used to sewing or working with fabric, if this looks like something that would be easy for you to do, or does this still look too complicated? And you know what? If you ever get this craft, or you have any other sewing projects that you need help with, go ahead and reach out to me. You can comment below, or you can send me a DM on Instagram, and I would be more than happy to help. So this is where we get started. So stitching the face. All the different faces you can make. I won't be able to decide. Oh no, I'm not gonna be able to decide what kind of llama face I want. Look at his little scarf. Oh, crap. Oh! So just the front is furry, and the back is this really pretty kind of leaf fabric. I actually like that. I like that just one side is the fuzzy side. So I was gonna do the ladder stitch. Make it fancy! She's so fancy. Make tassels for the little ears. Give your llama extra drama. A llama corn. Flower crown. A bow tie. Whoa, it's an actual llama. I really, really like that it's giving me some information about llamas. I love llamas, so I just really like to learn a little bit more about them. And I think for a little kid who is making this pillow, it kind of gives them some inspiration on how they want their llama to look. I mean, maybe they didn't know that this was a traditional thing for the people of Peru to decorate llamas like this. Decorate? Clothe? Accessorize? Let's see. Did you know llamas are courageous, strong, and beautiful? Here are some fun facts about these animals who inspired the pillow designs in this book. They're protective of smaller animals. Some farmers use llamas as guard animals. Oh, stop. Oh. People like to dress up their llamas for special festivals. Some llamas have pierced ears, and their colorful yarn earrings help people tell them apart. Stop it. Oh, and look at the other kits you can get. So if I decide that I really like this kit, you guys really like it, I can get these other kits. You guys can tell me what I can try next. Let's go ahead and finally open this box and see what our materials are. This is so bright and colorful. Oh my gosh. Okay. The first thing, well, besides the bright, colorful fabric, the first thing I notice is this pattern. What I love is it's cardstock. That makes tracing it and saving it so it doesn't get damaged so much easier. They're just little punches, see? I love that. So what I was worried was that it was just going to be pictures on a printed piece of paper and I'd have to somehow either A, cut them out myself, or B, trace them onto the fabric. But this makes it so much easier. You just pop it out and trace it. And I love that it's thick cardstock. Okay, I don't want to open this up, but this is the polyfill. It's vacuum sealed. I'm interested to see how much actually is in here, because it doesn't look like a lot, but because it's vacuum sealed, it's probably a lot. It'll probably expand a lot. Here is our pre-cut llama. This gorgeous hot pink, I love it, hot pink fabric. I love how neon this is. This is a good size pillow. And then here is our faux fur. It's so soft. Oh man, baby bunny is gonna love this pillow. She might destroy it. I might need to be careful. Here's the back. It's a little scratchy, but I mean, you're not gonna feel this side. It's gonna be on the inside of the pillow. I also really, really like how the direction of the fur is going down and kind of to the side. I was a little worried that, I'm sure most of these are just, you know, factory cut just off of a piece of a big spool of fabric. In which case I was worried that even though this is the bottom of the llama and this is the top of the llama, that the fabric would be going in the wrong direction, that the fur direction would be going the wrong direction, you know, and not be very natural. But this is actually going down and kind of to the side, just like how a real llama's fur would be. So I really, really appreciate that. And just for our little extras, to make the little accessories and the faces. Oh my goodness. Stop it. Oh! Hey! We got our needles. I like that they're in this packaging. And they're sharp. They're not dull. So just definitely be careful sewing with these. And if you're a parent, make sure that your little one is, absolutely teach textile crafting to your little one, but make sure they're safe. Just be careful, because those are sharp. Okay, we got all sorts of felt. I'm in love with these colors. They're so bright. I love them. I love them. This pillow is going to be so cute. It's going to be so stinking cute. So we got our felt. We got some pom-poms. We got our embroidery floss, and I really like this one. Has the silver details. That's gorgeous. We got two little eyes, and I think what the book was saying is that you can make the eyes how you want by cutting off the circular part. So if I want it to be winking, I would just cut off just this so it's like that, I think, but we can check that out a little bit more. We got the little face. Or does it go this way? Cute! I think this is the nose? Yeah, I think this is the nose. It goes like that. And then we got 2 little ears. So it's more of the fuzzy fabric, which again is going in the right direction. I'm so happy about that. And these little yellow pieces, so they go like right inside. Stop. It's so cute. And last but not least are these little sequins to decorate. I saw like one of the ideas was to put like in the eye like a pupil. It was really cute. But also like to decorate the flowers. Because remember one of the ideas was a flower crown? So we could do this to decorate the flower crown if that's what we decide to do. Okay, so here is almost everything we got in the kit. Basically everything we need to make the pillow. Kind of laid out, sort of like how the pillow is going to look. I'm beside myself. I'm so excited. So I'm going to sit, I'm going to read the book a little bit, get some ideas for the face that I want to make and the accessories I want to make. May have to make the top hat because it's so cute. I can't function with how cute that top hat is. And once I get an idea of how I want this llama to look, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. As I started working on this pillow, I realized that this is a really great way to demonstrate different types of stitches. I used my sewing machine to make the Ditto Pillow, but in this case, it's all hand stitching. So I'll try my best to demonstrate how to do each stitch and some other methods to make this pillow. I carefully followed all of the directions and steps in the included book and made sure to do them in their suggested order. So I started with the llama's cute blanket. I actually really liked the design they had on the front of the book, so I decided to go with that same design. And I really loved this pink color, so I used that for the base. I started by lightly drawing out the half oval shape for the blanket, then cut it out. For this blanket, I'm going to be doing the straight stitch, the back stitch, and also using pom-poms, sequins, and making tassels. Definitely a lot of details. I used the purple embroidery floss first to sew a back stitch along the edge. I inserted the needle on the wrong side of the felt, or the side that has my pen marks. That way the knot and pen marks will be hidden. To create a back stitch, insert your needle up and then back down into the felt. This is our very first straight stitch. Then bring the needle back up through the felt a little ways away from your first stitch. Then put the needle back through the hole. You're sort of working in backwards loop-de-loops, so it's called the back stitch. Bring it up, then push it back through the hole before, then back up, and through the hole before, and if you go nice and slow, you shouldn't have a problem with this stitch. But remember, it's handmade, so it doesn't need to look machine perfect. I constantly have to remind myself of that because I'm such a perfectionist. But this is meant to have fun, so take your time. To finish, I tied a knot at the end. What I like to do is pass my needle underneath my last stitch on the back of the felt, and then bring up my needle through that loop. This creates a nice tight knot. You can do this a few times to really secure it. Now I did a simple straight stitch around in blue. Insert the needle up from the wrong side of the felt, so the knot is hidden, and then push the needle back through a little ways down. You can make these stitches as short or as long as you want. Then bring your needle back up a little ways down, and then back down into the felt a little further down. Imagine you're a mermaid jumping through the water. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Then I tied a knot at the end. Next I added 6 sequins to my blanket with the purple thread. The easiest way to do this is to hold the sequin down with your non-dominant hand, then carefully poke the felt from the wrong side with the needle to try and find the hole in the middle of the sequin. Try not to accidentally poke yourself. A band-aid or a thimble might be a good idea for this. Once you get it through, press the needle back down on the outside edge of the sequin. That'll hold it in place just fine. Repeat this for all of your other sequins, and tie a knot when you're done. You could also use fabric glue to secure all of these to the fabric, if you're not worried about a toddler trying to eat them. Next, I added the tassels. The kit included a really helpful cardstock guide for making the tassels. I cut 2 smaller pieces of the thread, I placed one of the shorter pieces on top of the cardstock, then wrapped the longer piece around the cardstock several times. Then tied the shorter piece into a tight knot. Now the thread can be slid off. I need to add the second small string to make the tassel look more traditional. So I taped down the top and bottom threads and placed the smaller thread underneath. Then I tied it together in a tight knot. And finally I cut the bottom loops. Da-da-da-da! An adorable tassel! I made 2 more of these. Attaching these was really easy too. I put one side of the short string at the very top through my needle and passed that through my felt. Then took the other side of the short string and tied the ends together. Nice and easy. I did that for the other 2 as well. And finally, it's time for the pom-poms. The easiest way to do this was to carefully poke the needle through the pom-pom and pull the thread through. Then push the needle through the felt and then back through the pom-pom. The bottom of the pom-pom should have 2 ends of thread. Then I tied those together into a tight knot and cut off the excess. Then I did that for the other 3. And the blanket is done! But if you have any questions on this process or any of your projects, don't be afraid to ask in the comments below or on Instagram. I'm always more than happy to help. Also, I'll include a link to another YouTube channel I absolutely adore called Budget Hobby. She makes plushies out of socks and has the best visual tutorials for these types of stitches. I'll put a link to her channel below. Now, the book says we can make the face, and honestly, this might be my favorite part. First, you make the little nose and mouth. This is a really handy method too if you ever want to make plushies or amigurumi. Push the needle with black thread from the back to the front of the tan felt. This is the beginning of the nose, so make sure it's off to the side and not in the middle. Then make a long stitch to the other side of the felt and push the needle through. But don't pull the thread tight. We need it to be a little loose to form the nose shape. To do that, push the needle back up through the felt in the middle and down a little ways from the first stitch. Then pull your first stitch out a little, so it's loose, and poke your needle under that thread. Now pull it a little tighter and you should get a V shape for the nose. Now to make the mouth, push the needle down into the felt straight down from where you made the V. Think cat mouth. Now we're going to make little back stitches to form the curve. Push the needle up a little ways away and then back down into the original hole. To make a wider smile, push your needle back up through the felt even further down and then back down through the original hole. Then do the same on the other side. Up, then down into the first hole, and then tie a knot on the back. Again, you could always do this with puffy paint if you don't want to attempt stitching this. This is basically embroidery and I am not very good at it, so I was tempted to do puffy paint myself. Now we're going to stitch the nose to the rest of the face. Now we're going to do another back stitch around the nose, leaving space at the bottom for some stuffing. Remember, it's a big backwards loop-de-loop. Up, down a little ways, up again, and back through the hole. Then add a little stuffing in the opening and stitch the remainder closed and finish with a tight knot. One thing that was awesome that I didn't even realize right away is that you can modify the eyes to make a bunch of different looks. You can cut the eyelashes off to make the llama look bored, you can cut the eyeballs off to make it look happy or asleep, and you can cut one eyeball off to look like it's winking, which is what I did here. And I added a silver sequin as a pupil, using the same method as I did for the blanket. This time I wanted to do the thread to kind of look like a star, so I stitched it 5 times, but you could just do once, and that's just fine. Then I stitched the eyes on with some big straight stitches. These are the stitches that look like a mermaid jumping in water. Up, down, up, down. And finally, I stitched the face onto the llama fabric with big straight stitches in white. I also safety pinned the other side as I stitched to make it easier on myself. The book suggests brushing the fur underneath so that it poofs away from the face. That way the llama can have a floofy chest and bangs. Cute! We're about halfway done! We just have to make the little ears now. I pinned the brown felt to the white fur, making sure the furry side of the fabric was touching the brown. We're going to actually be stitching on the wrong side and then turning it right side out, or inside out. So we need the fur to be touching the brown felt. Then I did a back stitch around the edge of the brown felt, but I left the bottom straight edge open. Then, being extra careful to not stretch out the brown felt, I flipped the ear inside out. Ta-da! So fluffy! And to give it a cute curved look, I folded it in with the two corners touching and did a quick stitch in white along the edge. You can do a really simple straight stitch to hold this together. And thanks to movie magic, I quickly made two. And finally, we can put all our separate pieces together. Here's the easiest way. Lay down the white fur so that the face is looking at you. Hello! Then pin the blanket on with the sequins facing up. Make sure the edge of the blanket and the edge of the fur are lined up. Then pin the ears on however you want them, but make sure that the edges are lined up. I bet you could make some really cute expressions for your llama depending on where you place these ears. Now lay down the colorful fabric, the pretty side facing down, and line up all the edges and then pin them in place. We're going to stitch this entire pillow using back stitches. Remember, big backwards loop-de-loops. Make sure you start at one of the feet and don't stitch the belly yet, that's where we'll be adding our stuffing. Take your time, it's not a race. The book even gives this really adorable tip. You'll need a few sewing sessions to complete the llama. Set your project aside if you're getting tired or just want a break. Your llama will be waiting when you're ready to sew again. So awesome, Klutz! Thank you! Stitch around your entire pillow and make sure you stitch through the ears and the blanket. Then tie a knot at the end. And now it's the moment of truth! Very carefully flip your llama inside out. Oh, she's so cute! Unpin everything to make sure you stitched it in. If you didn't, now's the time to go back and add a couple of stitches where it's needed. I started stuffing my llama, but noticed that the blanket kept popping up and not staying in place. So I added one little stitch from the inside of the pillow up through the blanket and back through and tied a knot on the inside. And now it's in place. You could also stick it down with some fabric glue or hot glue too. Once you're done stuffing it and you're happy with how everything looks, we can close up the little belly with a ladder stitch. This is another basic stitch that comes in handy with plushies or amigurumi. Carefully poke your needle with thread up from the inside of the pillow to hide your knot. Then, making a straight line with your thread, bring your needle back down through the opposite side. For example, start on the colored fabric side, then bring your needle over to the fur side and push the needle through. Then bring the needle back up through the white fabric, across to the colorful fabric, and back down. Then back up through the colorful side, across to the white fabric, and back down. Do this pulling the thread tight as you go, all the way to the other side, and then tie a knot when you're finished. The ladder stitch can be a bit tricky, so if you're struggling, I suggest watching Budget Hobbies videos. Remember, her link is below for you to check out. Guys, we're almost done! Look how stinking cute this llama is! Oh my gosh! Okay, I thought her head was looking a little bare, so I made 2 more tassels for her ears. And I decided to follow the book's guide for an adorable top hat. I used their cardstock pattern to trace and cut the felt pieces, including one for the flower. I stitched the rectangle pieces together with a back stitch along the short sides, and then attached the top circle part with small back stitches. This was super tricky, but I made myself go slow. Then I turned it inside out and attached an orange flower to the hat. I push my needle with thread through the orange flower and into the center hole of one of the flower sequins, and then through a little bead. Then I pass my thread back down through the center of the sequin and orange flower and tied the thread together on the inside of the hat. The book demonstrates adding the brim with stitches, but honestly, I was all sewn out for the day, so I attached it with my BFF, Fabri-Tac. I realize now, though, that this hat totally reminds me of Frosty the Snowman's hat from those super old claymation movies. Wow. But my super adorable llama is all done! I can't! She's just so cute! The book also includes patterns for wings, a horn, and a bow tie, so I can always add new accessories to her too. This kit was amazing. I've been sewing for about 15 years now, and as an experienced seamstress, I found this book to be super easy to follow. And in retrospect, I think it is the perfect book for beginners if you take your time and follow the directions. Klutz does a wonderful job of describing exactly what you're doing and, more importantly, why you're doing it. They also include a ton of inspirational and fun quotes all throughout that really empower you to finish the project. Not only that, but the quality of the materials was amazing. This kit was about $20, and I think it definitely was money well spent. If you're new to sewing or would like to learn how to sew, I highly recommend this kit. I'll put the link below. If you try it, or if you sew anything else, please share it with me on Instagram. You can tag me or use #BunnyDIY so I can see. I would love to feature you on my Instagram stories. And comment below what you think her name should be. I think she may be my new mascot. Llama DIY. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, make sure you click the like button and subscribe by clicking the little bell. That way you won't miss any future videos. I post every Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks everyone! You never fail to make me smile. Love you a latte!